Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Video. Today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 16 June 2020. So let's start the session. First news is India's first infectious disease diagnosis laboratory is now ready. This is fast reacting mobile laboratory which is part of the government of India's Atmanirbhar Bharat program. You can say this is a rapid response mobile laboratory and it has been made in record time of only 8 days in collaboration with Department of Biotechnology. It has many facilities available including on-site ELISA, real-time reverse Tranian polymerase chain reaction, RRT-PCR test and biochemistry analyzer. This lab is capable of performing 200 tests per day of ELISA and 50 per day test of RRT-PCR. Now let's see a question related to the news. Which of the following statements is true? Recently, India's first infectious disease diagnosis laboratory has been developed. It is a rapid response mobile laboratory. You have to select the correct answer using the codes given below. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, none of the above. So the correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2. Both statements are true. Moving to the next news, 2 new symptoms have been included in the infection symptoms of coronavirus. Recently, 2 symptoms, that is the loss of ability to smell and taste, have been included in new symptoms of coronavirus infection. The sample reference form currently has 13 clinical symptoms and signs that were revised last month by the ministry. This includes fever, cough, diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, shortness of breath, nausea, hemoptysis, coughing up blood, body ache, sore throat, chest pain, runny nose, etc. Also, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has issued new guidelines for the treatment of COVID-19. As the number of cases of COVID-19 are increases, new symptoms have been seen and therefore these have been included in this clinical symptoms form. Now the ministry has also said that the drugs like remdesivir and tocilizumab, hydroxychloroquine and convalescent plasma therapy should be only used for defined subgroup patients of COVID-19, and ICMR has also issued advisory that no one should consume hydroxychloroquine or remdesivir like drugs for treatment of COVID-19 without the prescription advice of doctor. Moving to the question part, which of the following is a symptom of COVID-19? Loss of smell and taste, fever, chest pain, all of the above. So the correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Moving to the next news, 3-day unique Raj Prabha festival started in Odisha, and this festival strengthens the feeling of brotherhood in the society. Raj Prabha is a 3-day unique festival of Odisha which is celebrated in honor of the onset of monsoon and the femininity of the earth. These days, as a tribute to the earth, all agriculture work such as plowing, sowing are suspended for the 3-day festival. Talking about Odisha, it is a state on the Bay of Bengal in the east of India. It is known for its tribal cultures and many ancient Hindu temples. Its capital is Bhubaneswar and Chief Minister is Naveen Patnaik and present governor is Ganeshi Lal. The state bird of Odisha is the blue jay or Indian ruler. State animal is sambar, while the state tree is banyan and state flower is lotus. Moving to the question part, recently 3-day unique Raj Prabha festival has started in which state? Kerala, Odisha, Assam and Gujarat. So the correct answer is option B, that is Odisha. Moving to the next news, government launched Arogya Path portal. This portal aims to establish an information management and forecasting database platform of COVID-19 at the national level. This portal will also meet demand and supply scenarios for key healthcare items and will also reduce supply bottlenecks. It will provide uninterrupted access to suppliers, manufacturers and customers for current needs and demand related to medical devices, diagnostic devices, medicines, personal protective equipment PPE and respiratory aids. It will also help health users such as public forums, hospitals, pathology labs, research institutes, medical colleges and patients. It is one-stop supply chain solution for your healthcare needs. This is Arogya Path portal. Now the question, recently which portal has been launched to create an information management and forecasting database platform of COVID-19 at the national level? Arogya Path, Arogya Support, Arogya Partner and Arogya Pool. So the correct answer is option A, that is Arogya Path. Moving to the next news, Central Railways has launched an investigation facility called Febri-I in Mumbai. Under this facility, the symptoms of COVID-19 will be effectively investigated in the passengers. This is another important step of Central Railway in the direction of passenger safety. Febri Eye, it is a thermal camera, a body screening facility that have been installed at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaja Terminus and Lokmanya Tilak Terminus in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Febri Eye is an artificial intelligence based thermal screening system for real-time and automated to ensure that person entering does not have high fever. When passengers pass before the cameras, anyone with a temperature above the set range will be shown on a computer screen attached to the cameras in a different color pattern than the rest. And its unique feature is that it can detect the temperature of multiple people simultaneously and automatically record the temperature while passengers keep moving. So no chaos is created. It can detect multiple temperature of multiple people simultaneously and it can automatically record the temperature while passengers are moving. Now the question, what is Febri Eye? It is a thermal camera examining the symptoms of COVID-19, a mission of NASA, science laboratory or a new type of medicine. So the correct answer is option A, that is it is a thermal camera examining the symptoms of COVID-19. Moving to the next news, recently Central Railways has launched the robotic Captain Arjun. Arjun full form is always be responsible and just used to be nice, and this Captain Arjun is based on the suggestion of Alok Bora, DIG of Central Railway Security Force. The Railway Protection Force, Pune, has built this robot to speed up investigation, or you can say screening and surveillance. This robot examines the passengers boarding the train and monitors antisocial elements also. Captain Arjun can be used for many tasks. This robot is also effective in access control and will increase the security of the station. Now the question, recently which railway has launched robot Captain Arjun? Western Railway, Central Railway, Northern Railway and Middle Eastern Railway. So the correct answer is option B, Central Railway. And this robot Captain Arjun is also installed with a alarm, a sensor. So whenever if a person's temperature goes beyond the set range, then alarm is raised. Moving to the next news, World Blood Donor Day. World Blood Donor Day is observed every year on 14 June. The purpose of celebrating this day is to raise awareness about the need for safe blood and blood products and to thank the donors. The day is an important occasion for all governments, national health officials and the National Blood Services to provide adequate infrastructure to regularly increase blood collection from unpaid blood donors. This year the theme of this day is Safe Blood Saves Lives. The event was first organized in 2005 by a joint initiative of the World Health Organization, International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. And I would request all the youth to please donate blood. If they are healthy, then once in lifetime donate the blood, because you never know when that blood will be used to save someone's life, and it gives you immense pleasure. It gives you a very good feeling that you are saving someone's life at some point of time. I myself have donated the blood, and it is a really good experience. One should always try to get that experience. And if you are healthy, you should donate once in lifetime your blood. Moving to the question part, on which day is World Blood Donor Day celebrated every year? 15 May, 16 July, 12 April and 14 June. So the correct answer is option D, that is 14 June. Moving to the next news, continuous global spread of chikungunya from India. A recent study has found that chikungunya is continuously spreading globally from India. The study was conducted by a team from ICMR, National Institute of Virology, NIV Pune. This study found that India continued to be a special pool for global transmission of chikungunya virus over the period 2005 to 2018. The virus is spreading from India to neighboring and distant countries. This study has recently been published in Infection, Genetics and Evolution. Chikungunya, it is a viral disease that is transmitted to humans by infected mosquitoes. Fever and severe joint pain are its major symptoms. Other symptoms include muscle pain, headache, fatigue and rash. Now the question, chikungunya spreads due to virus, bacteria, nematode and fungi. So the correct answer is option A, that is it is a viral disease. Moving to the next news, June 15, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. As we all see that the older people are being abused in different ways. There is not only physical sort of abuse, there is psychological abuse, there is sexual abuse, and various other kind of abuses that has been faced by and that are being faced by older persons, and there is a need to take care of their health, and also there is a need to pay more attention to the well-being, and therefore this day is celebrated. See, everyone has at some point of time has to go through such stage, so we should be aware that we should take care of the older persons whosoever are there around us, and if those people are facing some kind of exploitation, they are being exploited, or they are facing any kind of health issues or anything, then if you are capable, please help them. The objective of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is to encourage the world to pay more attention to the well-being and adequate health care of older persons. This year its theme is Safeguard Older Persons During COVID-19 and Beyond, because the older person who are 60 plus and the children, they are at major risk of this COVID-19, so they need to be safeguarded. Therefore, this year theme for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is based that safeguard older persons during COVID-19 and beyond. The day was launched on 15 June 2006 at the United Nations by the International Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse and the World Health Organization. Now the question part: in which year was World Elder Abuse Awareness Day launched? 2005, 2006, 2007 and 2009. So the correct answer is option B, that is 2006. Moving to the next news, RBI appointed panel to review the ownership of private banks. Recently, a working group panel has been appointed by RBI to review the ownership of private banks. This panel will be headed by RBI Executive Director P.K. Mohanty. The panel will also examine and review the eligibility criteria of individuals or entities or institutions to apply for a banking license. It will also study the current rules on the holding of financial subsidiaries through a non-cooperative financial holding company. It would also suggest appropriate criteria keeping in mind the issue of excessive concentration of ownership and control. And this decision has been taken after RBI received many requests to increase the ownership beyond 15% permissible limit. The question part: under whose chairmanship has the working group panel been appointed by RBI to review the ownership of private banks? S.N. Banerjee, P.K. Mohanty, Vidyapati Tripathi, K. Sadashiv Rao. So the correct answer is option B, that is P.K. Mohanty. Moving to the next news, astronaut and oceanographer Kathy Sullivan became the 5th person to go to Challenger Deep. Kathy Sullivan was the first American woman to walk in space in 1984. She is now the first woman to land on the Challenger Deep and the 5th person in the history to do so. And this Challenger Deep is the deepest known place in the world's ocean. Sullivan is now the only human to reach in space and the deepest point in ocean. Challenger Deep, it is located in Mariana Trench below the surface of the Western Pacific Ocean. You can see the location of Challenger Deep over here. This is Challenger Deep. It is located in Mariana Trench and the Western Pacific Ocean. It is about 36,200 feet deep according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA). The average depth of the ocean is about 12,100 feet. Now the question: Kathy Sullivan, the first woman to land on Challenger Deep, is a citizen of which country? New Zealand, Russia, Britain and USA. So the correct answer is option D, that is USA. So friends, here we have comprehensively covered daily current affairs of 16 June and related questions. I hope you like this session. Please like it, share it as much as you can. If you have any doubt, you can mention that in comment box. Also subscribe to our channel Pendulum Edu. Do not forget to press the bell icon. You can also join us on Telegram group, and also you can read these current affairs from our website pendulumedu.com. You can download PDF, and also you can attempt current affair quiz, banking awareness quiz and all other quizzes which are important from exam point of view, and keep preparing with us. Thank you so much.